Hey, what's going on? In today's video, I'm going to be ranking 10 methods of getting clients for your coaching or agency business. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good video. All right, so like I said, I'm going to be ranking 10 different methods of getting clients using the list that you're seeing on your screen right now. It's going to be kind of just like a raw video of me sort of labeling everything and also giving my thoughts at the same exact time. That said, let's go ahead and hop in. All right, so we got this list pulled up. Again, it's 10 different methods. At the same time, while I'm ranking these, I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the methods themselves, my experiences with them, my clients' experiences with them, and sort of give you an idea of what my favorite ways of getting clients are right now so that you can hopefully watch this video and start trying stuff yourself. That said, let's go ahead and start with, I think what I'm going to do in this video is rank from worst to best and just kind of give you my thoughts. Maybe I'll go a little bit random. I wish that this list went to like F. So anything in the D category is what I'm going to rank definitely as the worst. And obviously anything in the S category is going to be like the best way to get clients. That said, if you're watching this video and you don't have an offer in place, or you're kind of like confused on what your market is, who your market is, and the problems that you're going to solve for them, this video might not be the best for you. I would suggest going back to my Instagram channel. I may have some content on there on how to build an offer, how to kind of find a market, right? Because if you don't have an offer, if you don't have your market in place, then the methods of getting clients aren't going to help, right? So if you don't have an offer yet, go ahead, send me a message on Instagram, and I can probably help you just through our chat, kind of come up with something. So that said, that's kind of who this video is for. Those of you that maybe you're at 5K a month, maybe you're at 10K a month, and you're sort of struggling to book more calls and close more deals. This video is actually going to be super, super helpful, and you're going to be able to relate to it a lot more than those of you in the latter category where you don't have an offer yet. So let's go ahead and hop in. So starting with my least favorite, let's go ahead and put, and I put a little logo here. So this is cold email, okay? So my least favorite way of getting clients is cold email. I tried cold email for years. I've never been able to get it to work. I do know some people that have been able to get cold email to work. Just the number of people who haven't been able to get it to work to the number of people that I've seen it work for is like, seriously, like 50 to 1, right? I have met very few people where they're like, oh yeah, cold email is like the thing to do. This is the best way to get clients. It's super saturated because there's no barrier to entry. So a lot of your clients are getting this is more for you guys that are in the agency space. The people that you're cold emailing, they're already getting dozens of them a day. They have been for the past 2 years. It's really, 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 really hard to like stand out because you're just really annoying. You're just another person that's annoying them. The only way that you can get this to work is being able to send like super personalized emails, which takes up too much time, which is another reason why I don't like cold email. It takes up a lot of time, right? It's either time that you have to do yourself or like pay your employees to do. I think there's other methods you can do that are in this list that you could spend less time on and yield a better return. So that's just my opinion. I've never really liked cold email. I don't like getting cold emails. Nobody likes receiving cold emails, and it's just really hard to work that conversation into an appointment. And this is for a lot of you, for you agency people that are watching this video. This one's going to apply to y'all more, right? Versus like if you're a coach and let's say you're like a health and wellness coach, or maybe you're like a divorce coach or a quit porn coach, right? You can't even cold email people because you don't have emails for your prospects. So that's another reason why this ranks so low, is it really only works for a specific part of the market, and it doesn't even work very well for those people. So down at the bottom, we've got cold email, and then I'm also gonna throw cold calling in there. It kind of the same thing, right? Picking up the phone, cold calling somebody, and try to work that conversation into a phone call is just, it takes too much time. You might have to call like 100 people just to get like one person to even answer the phone. So like I've never even done cold calling. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I think a lot of people classify as cold calling, typically usually warm calling. So like if you go work for a big company and they just give you a list and they're like, hey, we need you to reach out to all these people and try to book them into a meeting. A lot of times it's people that have already opted into some sort of ad. So they gave that person their information. or it's just like some list that they've had for years and you're like the 8th person to start calling people on this list. So I'm not a fan of cold calling. That's why I'm ranking it on this D tier right here. So moving on, let's go. We're going to go straight into C. Like I said, we're going to go from worst, my least favorite, to my favorite. Just trying to think how many we want to fit in here. So moving on from there, I think that I'm going to go ahead and rank like organic, right? So I have like the YouTube logo right here because a lot of people think if they just make really, really good YouTube videos that somehow the YouTube algorithm is going to show it to more people and they're going to kind of explode. But in my opinion, this takes a lot of time to get going. So you have to be super consistent with it, constantly be uploading YouTube videos, constantly be coming up with ideas for YouTube videos. So you have to edit, you have to shoot, you have to write the script, you have to upload everything. So it takes a lot of time, number one. But number two, the chances of you making a video that goes super, super viral and is worth the time that you spent putting into that video is just really, really, really rare. You might be wondering, like, Colin, I don't understand. Like, there's a lot of B2B people like Alex Hormozi out there that make really good YouTube videos and they get a lot of views. Well, they didn't really start with just organic, and I'll kind of get into that as I start ranking these higher methods, because I think organic posting is a really good way to get clients if you're doing other methods at the same exact time. So using YouTube as a way to nurture your audience and just provide value, that's fantastic. But if you're making YouTube videos constantly, or just posting on Instagram constantly, or posting on your Facebook profile constantly in hopes of the algorithm finding your stuff and promoting it, it's just, the odds of that are so bad, right? So we want to make sure that we're doing things that have a higher chance of getting our message in front of our ideal audience. So we want to get our offer in front of our ideal audience. And I think growing organically is one of the hardest ways to do that. Not saying it can't be done, but if you look at guys like Alex Hormozi, they didn't start with that. They initially were running ads. They've sold a lot of books, XYZ, right? And now they have a huge following on YouTube because they sent all of their subscribers from somewhere else. So we'll get into that in just a second in terms of like sending people from your Facebook account or your Instagram account to your YouTube channel. And you kind of just have this trio of content wheel. That's awesome. And like I said, I'll get into that a little bit later. So let's move on. So down at the bottom, we got cold email, cold callings. You know, honestly, you might even rank this here. But I'm going to put it in the C category just because, I don't know, I really hate cold email and cold calling. So I think if you look at this list, like that's kind of the thing I want you to get from it. So moving on, let's go ahead and move into, we're going to do referrals in the B category, actually. So getting referrals is huge, right? If you do good work for somebody, a lot of times they'll refer you to somebody else. You get really, really high level clients this way, clients that can stay with you for a long time, whether that's coaching or agency. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rank this in C, and here's the reason. Referrals, those types of clients are really, really great, but this process is not scalable. So sometimes you do really good work for a client, they get huge transformation, they get the results that you guys have talked about on your sales call, but they literally might just not know somebody to send to you, right? I've had that before. We had clients did really good work for them. You approach them and say, hey, if you happen to know anybody, like I'll even pay you a referral fee. And they come back and answer, I would love to, but I literally don't know anybody else in this space. I don't have any friends in this space. I'm not connected with any other business owners. I'm not connected with other people that could use your service, right? So it's super unscalable, and you kind of just have to get lucky with referrals. As you do more business, you will get some just naturally, but relying on referrals to bring you new business is a really, really, really slow way to scale. It's unpredictable, and it's just extremely difficult to get going. So again, the types of clients you get from referrals are great, but it's not a scalable process, and it's hard to duplicate over time. So another thing that I'm going to rank here in the C category is affiliates. So affiliate, basically you go to somebody and say, hey, I have this service, I have this product that I want to push out into the market, but I need other people to do it for me, right? So you're basically going out and you're telling people, hey, I'll let you sell my product for me, and anybody that I close, like I'll cut you a deal. This can work really well if you have a really, 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 really big audience. A lot of you guys watch this video, if you know Alex Hormozi at all, he just launched his book, $100 Million Leads. And this is something that he did to sell more of the book, get more people to attend his live event. And it worked great for him, but because he already has a huge following in place on YouTube, he's got a lot of followers on TikTok, he's got a lot of followers on Instagram. Like, he's huge, right? So he has the ability. He's even got a big email list, right? So all he has to do is go, hey, I'm pushing out this new book. I want to create affiliates. Those of you, this is how you're going to sign up. For everybody, you just structure it, right? So for every 10 books that you sell, I'll pay you X amount, right? So then you have a lot of people who, number one, love Alex Hormozy. So they're like, heck yeah, like, I've also got an audience, so I'll push it to them and I'll post on my Instagram. So you have to have a huge following already, and then you have to push, like, your affiliates themselves need to sort of have a really good following, unless they're just really good at running ads. You see a lot of this in like the e-com space or like info product space, people just using somebody else's offer. But in terms of using affiliates to scale your own offer, not a huge fan unless you already have a really big following, because you're able to kind of build a better army, right? So if you're sort of smaller in terms of like you don't have over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, it's going to be really, really difficult to build a good army of affiliates. So you might be able to get some people who are willing to do it, but they're not going to be skilled and they don't have an audience. And that's like the worst type of affiliate to be, somebody who doesn't have any skills and somebody who doesn't have an audience. So that's why I would rank that down on the C tier. That said, moving forward, let's go ahead. I'm going to put in the B category, Facebook group posting. So going into Facebook groups, providing value, maybe you write a case study. This is what I did for a long time when I had my e-com agency. Like, you go into the group, you just say, hey, this is how I help the client go from 10K a month to 100K per month. Hopefully some of you will learn something from this. And this is what I'm going to break down. And you're like, here's pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, pillar 4. Back then I was talking about like, how to put audiences together, how to scale, how to write ads with copy, like how to make content, just sort of like revealed the curtains, or like pulled back the curtains on everything that we were doing for our clients. So this can be a really, really good way if you have a good Facebook group with really good leads inside of it, and you know how to write a case study without being salesy. So the issues that people run into with Facebook group posting, you're very limited on what you're able to say. So I can't go into that Facebook group and say, hey, I want you to book a call with me if you're this type of person and you want to scale to this, right? So you have to you can't necessarily write it like it's a normal ad, because you'll get sort of hated on for that, and a lot of times get kicked out of the group because it's somebody else's audience. So they don't want you directly pitching people inside of that group. So you have to learn how to attract people to your offer through the process of providing value and showcasing your expertise, which is actually a really, really good way to get clients. So this is pretty much what I would tell anybody to be doing on their social profiles anyways, whether they're posting on YouTube, on Instagram, on their Facebook profile. Always be showcasing your expertise and nurturing your audience by providing insights and tips and just being helpful, right? So if you give away a lot for free, you want people to say, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that guy charged $0 for this video. I can't believe this guy's putting this on his Instagram profile for free. If he's doing this for free, if she's doing this for free, I wonder how much value I'll get if I go ahead and pay that person to work with them. So you want people in that mindset, which is why I would rank this Facebook group method in the B category, because it does that really, really well. You don't have to spend a lot of time building an audience. You can leverage somebody else. The only issue, if you don't have any case studies or you're just starting out and you don't really have any skill sets, you don't really know how to serve your market yet, you can get into trouble here where you're trying to act like your intentions are good. You're trying to help people. You're trying to provide value. But because you're just not good yet, your posts end up being bad and you end up getting more hate than you do love. So then you end up ruining your reputation. And it's really easy to do. I've seen a lot of beginners do it. They just hop in. Oh, I'll just go to a Facebook group, kind of post something. Everybody's going to be reaching out to me. If you don't execute it properly, you can run into issues where you get kicked out of the group. You ruin your reputation. So you lose access to that audience, and then they're telling other people, hey, this guy's salesy, this guy's not very genuine. So you can really run into issues there, even if your heart is in the right place and you're really just trying to help people. If you don't do it correctly, you can end up really hurting yourself. So I would rank this in the B category if you have case studies and you know how to write these types of organic posts. Some of my clients, we help them do this, right? If they're in a position where they're in a market and I realize, okay, look, you got like 3 really good groups in your industry that are having a lot of value, your dream clients are in those, and you have some really good case studies, I can help my clients put some really good posts together that can start booking them more calls through their Facebook profile. So that's why I'm ranking this in the B category. So let's go ahead and move on. In the B category again, I am going to do Facebook lead ads. Okay, so Facebook lead ads, this is where you don't send somebody to a landing page. You basically run your ad, and then somebody stays on Facebook and they fill out a form, and you're able to dictate what you want from that form. So you can do like their name, you can ask for their email, you can ask for their phone number, however you want to do it, and you can add some other questions in there just to make sure that they're the right people. This is a really, really simple way, right? Like if you're kind of tight on budget or you just want to test some sort of messaging, this is a really, really easy way to go, okay, hey, I'm going to launch some ads at maybe $10 a day, or I'm only comfortable with like $15 a day. Running lead ads allows you to do that, to start getting some leads, and you can start working those leads, right? So I would rank this more in the B, maybe even into the C category, just because you have to really, really work those leads, right? So if you get a phone number or you get an email, now it's up to you to go out and reach out to that person. You kind of have to hound them, right? So if somebody gives you your phone number, like they're interested in whatever you're selling or whatever your offer is, now you have to go call them, you got to text them, and you got to try to get them on the phone. And sometimes it can feel like you're hassling somebody. And other issues with Facebook lead ads that I've seen, like people will fill it out and they'll reply with, I don't remember filling this out. I have no idea who you are. So that can sometimes happen with lead ads, but it is a really good way if you just got $10, $15 to spend per day and you want to start getting some leads. Maybe you want to start filling a Facebook group. This is what I've seen work with one of my clients right now. That's what he does. So he runs his lead ads and then he pushes those lead ads into his Facebook group. So I'm not really sure what information he asks for, but I know that he pushes the lead ads into his own Facebook group. So if you're going to run lead ads, that's what I would suggest, whether you're a coach or agency. You can do the same process. So he coaches agencies. He's got his own SEO agency, and he has a program right now where he helps other agency owners scale. And so he has his own Facebook group full of agency owners, and he filled them by running Facebook lead ads, right? So that's why I would rank that in the B category. So you kind of have the Facebook group method where you're posting, and then you have the Facebook lead ads to sort of build your own Facebook group. That's why I kind of rank those two together, because they're pretty similar, right? So moving on. What I'm going to do is, so this is like, I'm going to put this in the B category. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rank this as a C. So this is running an ad to a landing page and collecting their information there, right? So it's basically what a lead ad is, except now people aren't staying on Facebook. They're clicking on your ad, they're going to a landing page and putting their information in there. Maybe you have some sort of video, but typically with just Facebook to get a lead, typically it's not like that, right? So usually you're just going to run to an ad, to a landing page where it's just a squeeze page. You're generally just going to collect their information there, and usually they get something afterwards. So maybe they get like a free training, or they get like a free ebook in exchange for their information. I'm ranking this in the C category because, again, now you're getting into issues with tracking because you're sending people off the platform. So now Facebook's going to have issues being able to tell you how many leads you're getting and how many leads you're not. And then at the same time, you now have to work those leads. So if you're getting phone numbers, you need to go call them, and you have to call them within 5 minutes. And then you're still getting the same thing where people are like, I don't remember filling this out. I don't know who you are, right? So there are people that do this and do it well. I just think it's a little bit outdated. This was like super, super popular for maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago because it was kind of the only thing that you could do, right? It's not the worst, right? It's not as bad as cold email or cold calling. I just don't prefer it. You can run into a lot of issues, right? You have to be really good at building landing pages, or you have to pay somebody else to do it. So like if you're not able to put a good website together and create good headlines and create all these things, it's going to really, really struggle, and your cost per lead is going to be really high compared to running Facebook lead ads. I've seen that if you don't know how to put a good landing page together, just doing lead ads sort of eliminates that. So now all you have to do is put the ad together. Versus when you run from an ad to the landing page, you got to create a really good ad. Now you have to also create a really good landing page. And if you have those skills, awesome, go for it. But in the beginning, I would prefer you just spend your time trying to book more calls and close more deals, right? So I don't want you spending an entire week trying to put a website together. So that's why I would rank that in the C tier. Along with that, I'm going to go ahead and rank the VSL method here I'm actually going to put that in the B category. So if you do a mini VSL, so if you're still running 45-minute VSLs, you're honestly like in the D category. People don't watch 45-minute VSLs anymore. 45-minute VSLs are completely dead. If you're able to put a really good 10-minute VSL together that's short, that allows people to click through it, it just, again, you have to be really, really good at making a VSL, which a lot of times you got to pay somebody to help you with in the first place. on top of spending money on ads and spending money on other places in the business, VSLs can be pretty difficult. Like, you have to be a really good copywriter. You need to really know the desires of your market. You really need to know the pain points of your market, and you have to be able to be good on camera. There's just so many elements that go into making a VSL work that, like, if you are good on camera and you really do know the pain points of your market and you know who you want your dream clients to be and you know how to speak to them. So maybe you had like a 45-minute VSL that did well maybe 3-4 years ago and it stopped working. Trying to figure out how to transition that into a 10-minute VSL, I would go ahead and like suggest that because you've already kind of done the legwork, right? But starting from scratch, it can be really, really difficult to put a good VSL together and then like create a good ad for the VSL and then getting enough traffic to the VSL and having enough conversion and having enough people book a call. So I'll rank that in the B category because if you're able to put it together, you can make it work. But I've just seen that it can take a lot of money on ads and money on help to get it to work. So in my opinion, it's just not necessarily worth it when you have this one superior option, right? So at the end of the day, my favorite way of getting clients, and I'm going to put this in superior, is DM ads. So being able to run ads to your DMs on Instagram specifically, this works extremely well for coaches and it works for agencies too. The reason why it works so well is because it's a lot more personal. So you're not asking for somebody's phone number, like you're not getting their email where you kind of have this 50-50 chance of them replying. Literally somebody just clicks your ad. They don't have to leave the platform, so they stay on Instagram. So if they see your profile, they can go to your profile, see some of the content that you've already posted, see how many followers you have, see the type of engagement that you're getting, right? And then they can come right back to the ad and they're like, okay, this guy's legit. Boom, they just click on it and they hit send a message and they just send you a keyword around your offer to get more information. And then from there, what you're able to do is kind of work that conversation into a booked call, which is really, really easy to do if you have a good setting script, which is something that we help our clients with. Excuse me. Anyways, this just works so freaking well. It works so freaking well because people are on Instagram every single day. They spend time on Instagram. It's hard for your conversation to sort of get lost if they're genuinely interested. Once you're in somebody's DMs, like somebody DMs you and you're posting content on your profile, Instagram looks at that and goes, okay, this they're having a conversation in their DM. I'm going to show it to them. So the more Instagram conversations you're having and with your followers, you're able to get your content shown to more people because Instagram is like, okay, like he's having a conversation going on with these 80 different, 100 different, 1,000 different people. We're going to make sure that his his feed post gets prioritized and shown to these people. So it helps when you're just organically posting on Instagram if you're also having conversations in the DMs. And a lot of times you're just able to personally kind of get to know somebody without having to jump through all these hoops because they just said, hey, I'm interested. Can I learn more through their own personal Instagram profile? And you're able to work the conversation from there. Like I said, this works really well for coaches and agencies, right? So if you run a B2B offer, if you run a B2C offer, it doesn't matter. This just works extremely, extremely well because of how personal it is and how many hoops you don't have to jump through, right? Like you don't have to collect their lead information first and then text them with a fake phone number and then call them and then send them an email. Like their contact is right there. They said they're interested. You just start the conversation and kind of start chatting with them and start working that conversation into a sales call. And then at the same time, even if they don't convert into a sales call right away, now that they're in your DMs, every time you post on Instagram, Instagram's going to prioritize your posts over anybody else's because you have a conversation going with that person. So it's a really, really great way to book more calls without having to spend a lot of time setting up a website, without having to spend a lot of time putting together a VSL, without spending a lot of money trying to put together a website and a VSL. And then at the same time, it takes less time, right? So you're able to save time compared to like Facebook lead ads or even the Facebook group method because you're able to create one piece of content that's really, really good that you run as your ad. And it just sort of runs forever. And then from there, if you're booking calls and you're like, okay, I'm spending $100 a day and I'm booking 4-5 calls a day and we're closing at least 2 of those, the name of the game from there is just spending more on ads, right? Versus like some of these other methods. Let's say you were to get cold email working and you're like, okay, every time I send 100 emails, I close a deal. Well, the issue is now you have to be able to send 200 emails and then 300 emails and then 400 emails a day and then 500 emails a day, which is really, really hard to do, especially if you've done it, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, it's extremely difficult to just scale that up, right? Versus with these Instagram DM ads and just ads in general, what you're able to do is just crank the spend up. And then from there, you can utilize kind of what I talked about earlier. So you have your Instagram conversations going. You also have your Instagram profile, so you're able to post stuff on your feed that's valuable. And then at the same time, you're able to make long form content, just like this video that I'm posting on my YouTube channel. And you can do that for yourself and push people from your Instagram to your YouTube. So instead of relying on the YouTube algorithm to show the videos to a ton of people, you just go on your Instagram and say, hey, if you've been following me on Instagram, here's this YouTube video that I created, post it on your story, post it on your feed, put the links everywhere, put the link in your bio. So you're able to kind of control that traffic a little bit more. People that you're having conversations with, they're going to see that post, they're going to see your story. If they're kind of on the fence of wanting to talk to you in general, right, they can go watch that video and get some more value from you. So that's why Instagram DM ads are my favorite. I hope you like this video. If you found it valuable, like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me out. And look, if you're a coach or agency and you're struggling to book more calls and close more deals, then I want to have a chat with you. Like, if you're really struggling, so if you're stuck at 5K per month or you're stuck at 10K per month and you're just not consistent and you can't scale further, what I want you to do is go to my Instagram, ColinTurner01, send me a DM and just let me know you're interested. We can hop on a call and I can help you out and we will solve these problems for you. So again, hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you're struggling and you want to learn how to scale, you want to book more calls, you want to close more deals, go ahead and message me on Instagram. Have a good day. Peace.